Clause 2. During the absence of the Speaker from any sitting of the Assembly, the Deputy Speaker, or if he is also absent, such person as may be determined by the rules of procedure of the Assembly, or if no person is present, such other person as may be determined by the Assembly shall act as Speaker. Article 181. The Speaker or the Deputy Speaker not to preside while a resolution for his removal from office is under consideration. Clause 1. At any sitting of the Legislative Assembly, while any resolution for the removal of the Speaker from his office is under consideration, the Speaker, or while any resolution for the removal of the Deputy Speaker from his office is under consideration, the Deputy Speaker shall not, though he is present, preside, and the provisions of Clause 2 of Article 180 shall apply in relation to every such sitting as they apply in relation to a sitting from which the Speaker, or as the case may be, the Deputy Speaker is absent. Clause 2. The Speaker shall have the right to speak in and otherwise to take part in the proceedings of the Legislative Assembly while any resolution for his removal from office is under consideration in the Assembly, and shall, notwithstanding anything in Article 189, be entitled to vote only in the first instance on such resolution or on any other matter during such proceedings, but not in the case of inequality of votes. Article 182. The chairman and deputy chairman of the Legislative Council. The Legislative Council of every state having such council shall, as soon as may be, choose two members of the council to the respectively chairman and deputy chairman thereof, and so often as the office of chairman or deputy chairman becomes vacant, the council shall choose another member to be chairman or deputy chairman as the case may be. Article 183. Vacation and resignation of and removal from the office of chairman and deputy chairman. A member holding office as chairman or deputy chairman of a legislative council, Clause A, shall vacate his office if he ceases to be a member of the council. Clause B, may at any time by writing under his hand addressed, if such member is the chairman, to the deputy chairman, and if such member is the deputy chairman, to the chairman, resign his office, and Clause C, may be removed from his office by a resolution of the council passed by a majority of all the then members of the council, provided that no resolution for the purpose of Clause C shall be moved unless at least 14 days notice have been given of the intention to move the resolution. Article 184. Power of the deputy chairman or other person to perform the duties of the office of or to act as chairman. Clause 1. While the office of chairman is vacant, the duties of the office shall be performed by the deputy chairman, or if the office of deputy chairman is also vacant, by such member of the council as the governor may appoint for the purpose. Clause 2. Clause 2. During the absence of the chairman from any sitting of the council, the deputy chairman, or if he is also absent, such person as may be determined by the rules of procedure of the council, or if no such person is present, such other person as may be determined by the council shall act as chairman. Article 185. The chairman or the deputy chairman not to preside while a resolution for his removal from office is under consideration. Clause 1. At any sitting of the Legislative Council, while any resolution for the removal of the chairman from his office is under consideration, the chairman, or while any resolution for the removal of the deputy chairman from his office is under consideration, the deputy chairman shall not, though he is present, preside, and the provisions of Clause 2 of Article 184 shall apply in relation to every such sitting as they apply in relation to a sitting from which the chairman, or as the case may be, the deputy chairman is absent. Clause 2. The chairman shall have the right to speak in and otherwise to take part in the proceedings of the Legislative Council while any resolution for his removal from office is under consideration in the council and shall, notwithstanding anything in article 189, be entitled to vote only in the first instance on such resolution or on any other matter during such proceedings, but not in the case of an equality of votes. Article 186, salaries and allowances of the Speaker and Deputy Speaker and the Chairman and Deputy Chairman. They shall be paid to the Speaker and Deputy Speaker of the Legislative Assembly and to the Chairman and the Deputy Chairman of the Legislative Council such salaries and allowances as may be respectively fixed by the legislature of the state by law, and until provisions in that behalf is so made, such salaries and allowances as are specified in the second schedule. Article 187, Secretariat of State Legislature. Clause 1. The House or each House of the Legislature of a state shall have separate secretarial staff, provided that nothing in this clause shall, in the case of the legislature of a state having a legislative council, be construed as preventing the creation of posts common to both houses of such legislature. Clause 2. The legislature of a state may by law regulate the recruitment and the conditions of the service of persons appointed to the secretarial staffs of the house or houses, the legislature of the state. Clause 3. Until provision is made by the legislature of the state. Under Clause 2, the governor may, after consultation with the speaker of the legislative assembly, or the chairman of the legislative council, as the case may be, make rules, regulation, the recruitment and the conditions of service of persons appointed to the secretarial staff of the assembly or the council, and any rules so made shall have effect subject to the provisions of any law made under the said clause. Conduct of business. Article 188, oath or affirmation by members. Every member of the Legislative Assembly or the Legislative Council of a state shall, before taking his seat, make and subscribe before the governor or some person appointed in that behalf by him an oath or affirmation according to the form set out for the purpose in the third schedule. Article 189, voting in houses, power of houses to act notwithstanding vacancies and quorum. Clause 1. Save as otherwise provided in this constitution, all questions at any sitting of a house of the legislature of a state shall be determined by a majority of votes of members present and voting other than the speaker or chairman or a person acting as such. The speaker, chairman or person acting as such shall not vote in the first instance but shall have and exercise a casting vote in the case of an equality of votes. Clause 2. A house of a legislature of a state shall have power to act notwithstanding any vacancy in the membership thereof, and any proceedings in the legislature of a state shall be valid notwithstanding that it is discovered subsequently that some persons who was not entitled so to do sat or voted or otherwise took part in the proceedings. Clause 3. Until the legislature of the state by law otherwise provides the quorum to constitute a meeting of a house of the legislature of a state shall be 10 member or 1/10 of the total number of members of the houses, whichever is greater. Clause 4. If at any time during a meeting of the legislative assembly or the legislative council of a state there is no quorum, it shall be the duty of the speaker or chairman or person acting as either to adjourn the house or to suspend the meeting until there is a quorum.